Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, hit the like button and subscribe. I've got some links to my socials in the description, I think, of my channel. I am in the park today. It's a really beautiful day, and so I wanted to come to you. I am not really going to share any videos or anything. This is fully just talking. I'm not usually a scripted kind of person, but I do have some talking points, so you'll see me looking over to the side every now and then. My apologies. Um, at the moment, just to go into price action today and stuff, it does look like everything's kind of up. Bitcoin's up 5.96%. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good, but this video is kind of ominous. So, well, not ominous, but anyways, yeah, today I want to get kind of real with you. I want to speak, more from the heart because I have a strong sense that some really tough financial times are going to be coming ahead for a lot of us, including myself. We've always been discussing market shifts and, this new financial reset coming and blockchain and cryptocurrencies, tokenization of things. But it's across everything, and that really translates into is this is basically a massive wealth transfer that's literally happening right now. A lot of people brush that off. A lot of people hear something like that, something so fantastical that it really does get brushed off, and that terrifies me. It's a huge reason why I'm starting this channel. I want to do daily videos to try to, encourage people to do their own research and look around them. It's just really important that you are doing everything you can. A lot of people are broke. A lot of people don't have money. But even if you can throw a couple of dollars a day into this market, you'll thank yourself later. Um, the world is shifting heavily towards automation. Jobs are disappearing. Companies are being replaced, or I'm sorry, companies are replacing, employees. They're getting rid of positions completely. This isn't some wild prediction. We're literally seeing it. We're seeing forecasts like this for years, long before the big AI boom that we're currently sitting in. Personally, I have lots of people that I see online. I recently just literally deleted LinkedIn because I'm not in the market for a job, so I don't need it. But also, it's just depressing. I mean, it's super depressing to go on to LinkedIn and stuff. Um, you know, I've seen people who are literally, going on making videos saying, hey, I've put out 100, 200, 300, up to 500 resumes that I've emailed out and heard nothing back. It's the reality for a lot of people. It's one of the main reasons why I'm making this video. It's one of the main reasons why I have this channel. Um, this enormous transfer of money, even whenever you just recently saw the crypto market tank, you've got to look at who's buying. Um, this is going from everyday people to the already wealthy. The already wealthy are scooping it up. It's clear in real estate consolidation, land ownership, big companies, and now in crypto, where institutions are coming in and scooping up massive amounts. I mean, you look and you see strategy, buying thousands of Bitcoins all at once, and that looks cool and all. But to me, I just immediately see that that's thousands of whole coiners that will never be. And to call yourself a whole coiner one day, even more so than now, is going to be just a fantastical bragging right, really. Um, all of this coming in, crypto having, lots of massive price targets up, even though we are down right now. But in the next 10 years, almost everybody universally agrees that crypto price targets are 10, 20, 30x from what they are now. Um, that is where I think when you see all this wealth going into it, you also see the automation side of things and stuff. Universal basic income is being discussed more seriously now. And a few years ago, it was a far-fetched idea. Today, you've even got, the right conservatives, a party that I belong to who normally would have rolled their eyes at UBI now are completely for it. A lot of my own mindset around money comes from fear. A lot of everyone's mindset comes from fear. It's not irrational fear, but lessons from older people when I was young. And I'm sure you have these things that you'll probably remember as I talk, but those lessons really showed me the real consequences of poor choices. I'm not saying that I've made perfect decisions. I do have a lot of debt. Um, My debt doesn't really freak me out because I kind of think a reset's coming, or I think that my portfolio will one day far surpass it. So I don't spend a lot of my time and energy trying to pay down my debt, which is what a lot of people on here would probably advise against. Obviously, try to stay out of debt, but I am a small business owner, and running my business through COVID and stuff, I've had to lean on credit cards. I'm not ashamed to admit it. But trying to stay out of debt right now is probably the best thing you can do. If you are riddled with debt, try to get into some kind of payment plan, but don't let it stress you out. Try to keep your cash reserves somewhat there, and also try to be investing every day. Try to be investing in something. And obviously, try to get your cost down, making smart decisions, eating in, not buying coffee out, things like that will really pay off in the end. A lot of my own mindset around money is fear based, like I've said. One story that I really want to share is when I was younger, I was having dinner with a friend, and this is, you know, I think it was his mom looked over and basically just explained that. That back in the 70s 80s, she and her husband had ran a metals business. It had boomed, it did really well, they were making a lot of money. I think her husband had done it, but she was in corporate. And the big thing that they did is they lived it up. Man, they were making all this money, but they never saved any, they never planned for the future, and they thought that it would always keep coming. Ignored shortfallings in the business, people, maybe invoices that weren't right, just really getting comfortable. Um, and then the market crashed. The business failed. Decades later, here they are sitting in this house, and she looks over at me and says, this house that we own, we're renting. It's not where we want to be, and it just this look in their eyes. I don't know. It really spoke to me, and you know, I know buying a house is the American dream and stuff. I think nowadays renting could actually be smarter. I myself rent just because I try to keep my cash reserves as much as I possibly can, and I also have my cleaning company help pay the rent because it's an office space. So you have to be creative now. But I know what her main point was, and it was you have to think ahead, and even in the good times, you really need to still be planning for the future. I'm sorry, I'm looking off. It's just really pretty today. Um, Anyways, those types of experiences, man, they've made me obsessed with finances, but also obsessed with the notion of freedom, because I never wanted to be stuck anywhere. I never wanted to be stuck in a job or anything. And even though I am an entrepreneur and I own a cleaning company and my husband owns a hair salon, this channel is a big thing. I want this thing to be successful for obviously for income purposes, but also it's something that I'm passionate about. And even my husband, he does art, and I've been telling him you need to start a channel doing art. And everybody I'm following is talking about starting channels and doing this because we know it's coming. And I don't think people are going to have jobs. I think we're all going to be on universal basic income, and that is a topic that really should scare people, because on the surface you think, oh, I'll get all my bills paid, but that basically means that it is a baseline of poverty for everybody. It's not poverty like you think now. Everybody will have a roof over their head, but it will be an Orwellian nightmare. And I want no part of it. I want some kind of freedom. And the way to have that freedom is to own some type of assets. Obviously, for me, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are huge. Another guy I follow is big into real estate. Today, he even was talking about a thing called an REIT. I had never heard of it, but it's basically a real estate something trust. But it's, if you don't have enough money to go and buy an apartment complex, then you can invest in this trust, and they do that, and then they split rent. So it's kind of like a dividend thing. There are creative ways to put your money out there. Investing is not difficult. You can download an app on your phone and do it. The biggest thing when we talk about investing, or when I talk about investing, is buy it and hold it. Spend the money that you could already lose. For me, there have been moments in my life where I was able to do large purchases, but ultimately it's a $5 to $10 a day thing. Set it up and forget it. When the prices go down, don't worry about it. It should be something that you don't plan on touching for 5 to 10 years. If you can do that, then it becomes a really nice emergency fund, but still try not to touch it. And then you start looking into dividends. And if you're in crypto, you might have staking or yields on other, things. So it gets exciting after a while. Momentum is key. Same as if you're going to go start a YouTube channel or something. I know no one's watching these videos, excuse me, but I'm still doing them. It's consistency. All right, back to my script. I watched tons of documentaries on finance and retirement. I highly recommend it being something that you kind of obsess yourself with, even if finances and the finance system seem confusing to you. Um, because we're not facing a retirement crisis, guys. It's looking more like an apocalypse. I don't know what these people are going to do, probably be on universal basic income. Again, that's a poverty situation that I don't want to be a part of. Those people will probably be happy, but I don't know. I don't really know. I have to think about that more, but I don't want to be a part of it. And I don't want you to be a part of it. I want people to have some semblance of freedom in this new world that's coming. Most people today working probably will never retire. Or retire comfortably, always doing something, always hustling, always chasing. And that's really sad. But the good news, you're still in a position to change your trajectory, even if you're in your 50s. Save aggressively, invest wisely, start a side hustle. Don't have to be a massive company. You don't have to start something that's crazy. When you think of starting a business, it doesn't need to have 20 employees and stuff. It can just be you. I've seen people turn hobbies or niche interest into thriving businesses. Too many to talk about, too many ideas. Um, you've just got to do it. There's so many cool stories. There was a CNBC story recently about a guy who was buying vintage clothing at thrift stores and flea markets, and he's turned that into a huge company. One of my employees, or my husband's employees, who's now one of his business partners, her boyfriend worked for a vintage t-shirt company, and they sold vintage t-shirts for hundreds of dollars. It was insane. Get creative, because the jobs that we thought, coding and computer work, graphic design, the computers are going to do that. AI is going to do that. It's going to make our life really seamless. So what people are going to be craving is humanity. And in this channel, I've been looking at having AI help me with my videos and stuff, and I've just realized I think I just need to talk. Don't keep it short, 20-minute videos. There'll be people who will want to listen and who will engage and who will, help you form a community around the idea, whatever it is. This guy I was listening to earlier today, he said that there's a guy, I don't know, on YouTube who gets hundreds of thousands of views on his videos, and he just cleans old video games. I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah, so one stat, this was crazy, I wrote this down. One stat that blew my mind recently is if you have $10 in cash as an American, $10 in cash and no debt, that you are wealthier than 25% of Americans. Think about that. Get out of debt, stay out if you can, just as best as you possibly can. Strongest recommendation right now is, like we're talking about, straight creating content, uploading things. Whatever your hobby is, whatever makes you happy, try to figure out a way to share it with the world. Don't worry about monetization right now. Just try to find a way to share it with the world and form a community. Content is the future because internet demand is only growing. Billions more people coming online worldwide. You think the internet's big now, but it's only going to get bigger. Why is it only going to get bigger? Because when people don't have jobs, what are they going to do? They're going to go on the internet. The internet is going to explode. The opportunities are going to explode. The ecosystems are going to explode. I just watched Ready Player One. Go watch that movie. That's probably going to happen. It's going to get kind of crazy. This, in less than a decade, if crypto dominates as expected, millions will have zero exposure, no assets, and no real estate. With automation and a potential universal basic income, escaping poverty could become nearly impossible, as I've been saying. Things like tokenization and earning passive yields, then compounding them, could be a lifeline for building wealth. So buy things that pay in dividends and hold them. Even though Bitcoin doesn't pay in dividends, I still say buy that too. Again, not financial advice. It's just my opinion. We are incredibly fortunate right now to be this early in crypto or hold any assets if you do. I know I'm keep repeating myself and it's getting, kind of crazy just hearing it over and over and over again, but it's just I really want to drill it in. Start today, make a plan, write it down. Take that first step. And as always, like my videos, comment, share, subscribe. I'm over on X. That's where I like to talk the most. I'm probably going to keep this channel just X and YouTube. I thought about doing TikTok for a minute, but TikTok just seems messy and busy, and I don't like it. I want to keep this simple because the world's about to get complex. I enjoy these, and I hope you do too. Please let me know if you have any advice as well, and enjoy your day. Go outside. I hope it's pretty where you're at. Yeah, talk to y'all soon.